Since the invention of the internet and eventually social media, one of the more underrated things that avid Iowa football fans can do during the month of August is take a close look at pictures and video clips posted by the Iowa Athletic Department, figuring out who's playing in fall camp, who's participating, and who's missing. Now, you may think it's a ridiculous thing to do. A lot of people enjoy doing it. I'm sort of one of those guys, although it's harder now than it was a few years ago. We're going to talk about why, and we'll go through my roll call from week 1 of Iowa football fall camp in just 1 minute. But first, a big thank you to our sponsor, Maya the Malamute, Jeff Knight, and his awesome book about this awesome dog that is currently visiting children in the Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital in Iowa City. It's a great story, and you can get your copy of Maya the Malamute, A Spark of Courage, and donate to the Spark of Courage Foundation. You can check it all out via the description or just search mayathemalamute.com. Get your copy of the book. You may even choose to donate. Again, mayathemalamute.com. Roll call week 1. We're talking about Iowa football and the early social media appearances for Iowa football players. Yes, there's a lot of players on a football roster if you're new to this. So trying to comb through the short clips and the photos that we get on social media is sort of a hard thing to do. Why is it worth doing? Well, maybe it's not, but it's enjoyable for some people. And certainly we can at least tell who's present. Is there anybody missing, notably missing, anybody significant that has not shown up yet on photos? And certainly as you go deeper into the month of August, we're going to understand more. We're going to learn more about the health status of different players. We're going to get Iowa Football Media Day Friday and, of course, the Open Kids Practice Saturday. So we're going to learn a lot more during week 2 of fall camp. But what about week 1? Who was notably missing week 1? Well, I kind of noted at the beginning of this video that it used to be a little easier to do this because there used to be more pictures posted over on HawkeyeSports.com. Now everything's done on social media, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you're really just trying to find little tidbits in there of guys that are, you can't really tell if they're running with the ones, with the twos, but at least you can tell if they're in pads, they're in uniform, etc. So we're not going to run through 1 through 99 of the roster, but we are going to take a look at a few guys who so far have not shown up on social media that I could tell. And if you can prove me wrong, please do so in the comments section. If you can find a camp picture of one of these players, please share it in the comments section and prove me wrong. We'd love to know that I'm wrong and love to know that that player is participating. Again, a lot of this is going to be cleared up by Friday. A couple of players I have not seen show up yet on Iowa football's social media. One being number 0. We'll start at the top. Jarrett Bowie, receiver who's got a chance to factor into the top 5 or 6 of the receiver core. He's a Jesuit high school graduate out of Tampa, Florida, and he's going into his 3rd year. He's managed to stay relatively healthy. That room has suffered some health problems over the last few years, one being Seth Anderson, who is present, or at least has been present so far during at least part of week 1 of camp. I have not seen number 0, Jarrett Bowie, yet. Doesn't mean he's not there, just like any of these guys I'm about to mention, but I have not yet seen him. I've also not seen Jimmy Sullivan yet, the young quarterback who reported to Iowa before bowl prep, so got some extra time, enrolled early, got bowl prep with Iowa. He's probably there. He's probably working out, but have not yet seen him on social media or in any video. Now, the next few guys I'm going to name are guys that I don't expect to be major contributors. In fact, Jimmy Sullivan likely will not be a major contributor. He's a quarterback, so maybe a little bit more notable. But doesn't mean these guys aren't present, just have not yet seen them. DB Jacob Wallace, defensive end Drew Campbell, who is recovering from an injury. Kirk Ferentz talked about him during his most recent availability. True freshman receiver Terrence Smith. Have not yet seen defensive back Alex Moda or tight end Mason Woods, the son of special teams coach LeVar Woods. Carson Cooney, linebacker Ryan Fitzgerald, the son of former Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald. He's going to be a quarterback at Iowa. Have not yet seen him. Alex Eichmann, walk-on receiver. Tegan Davis, defensive back, also recovering from a health scare. Have not seen him. Jackson Stratton, here's one of the more notable ones. Again, it doesn't mean he's not there. If somebody can show me a screenshot or a picture of Jackson Stratton at an Iowa football practice to this point, go right ahead and do that. But he is a guy who started a game last year for Iowa against Maryland, played extensively. Now, I think a lot of people expect him to be 3rd or 4th on the depth chart this year. I probably wouldn't disagree with that if things work out the way how I think Iowa wants it to work out. It would be Gronowski 1, and then either Hank Brown or Jeremy Hecklinski #2. But Stratton does have experience, and that counts for something. I've not yet seen him show up in the early media posts from Iowa. Ty Hudkins, who is a transfer from Purdue, defensive back, have not yet seen anything from him. Race Heitman, walk-on defensive back. Cam Buffington, linebacker. Drew McPherson, defensive back. Lucas Allgaier, freshman offensive lineman who already checks in at 300 pounds, by the way. Josh Janowski, Will Nolan. And here are a couple of guys of note. Bo Stevens, expected to be one of those starting guards. Number 70, have not yet seen him. And it seems like Iowa tends to post less pictures of the offensive line, probably just because people, the average fan, they don't really care to see blocking. They want to see catches, throws, etc. So not anything against the linemen, but I think there's probably an explanation there. So hopefully Bo Stevens is healthy. He has dealt with some injury problems throughout his career, and they need him healthy. They need the top three on that offensive line to be healthy because there's some question marks in the other two spots. And one of those spots could end up being filled by Trevor Lauk, the former four-star out of Roncalli High School in the Indianapolis area. I have not seen him so far in early social media posts. A few other guys that have been missing from the early Iowa football media posts: Bodie McCaslin, offensive lineman; Cale Crow, Cannon Leonard; George Nahas, the former Cyclone lineman who transferred into Iowa; Jackson Nave, who's a walk-on wide receiver; Joseph Anderson, defensive end; Apollo Payne, walk-on receiver; Eli Johnson, freshman tight end; Brad Fitzgibbon, a defensive lineman from Marist High School in the Chicago area; Devin Kennedy, a second-year defensive lineman from Glendale, Arizona. And the last one that I think is of real note is Bryce George. Again, we're talking offensive line, so doesn't mean he's not there. Perhaps just a little camera shy, or perhaps the camera just hasn't caught him yet. But he is a guy, the transfer in from Ferris State, who I think will have a chance to start at left tackle. So a couple of guys that I'm going to be looking forward to seeing this week at Media Day and then at the open practice Saturday would be Bryce George. I've had him pegged for a while because I think his maturation, his development this August as an upperclassman transferring in from the D2 ranks will be crucial. And then they need another guy to fill in a fifth spot plus depth. So I think Trevor Lauk is going to be really important. Obviously, Bo Stevens is going to be important. So those are a few guys, because I've not yet seen them in photos or in video. Would like to confirm that they're healthy, that they're there and participating. But I did name quite a few offensive linemen. I mean, Allgaier, Janowski, and by the way, I mentioned Will Nolan. He is also recovering from injury. Kirk Ferentz talked about him at Big Ten Media Days. So hopefully all those guys are healthy. And Kirk did act like at Media Day, at least heading into fall camp, at Big Ten Media Days, Kirk basically said, hey, we haven't had any major setbacks health-wise. So that is positive. A lot of guys checked off the list, though. And so if I didn't name him, he's at least shown up in pads on the practice field in uniform. So that is a positive. Again, some of you people may think this exercise is pointless. We're going to find out in a few days who all is present, who's healthy, who's not healthy. But I know a lot of people love doing this, and I've never really done this formally on the show, but I thought, hey, I'll comb through the footage that we have and see how many guys I can check off the list. I'm kind of a geek like that, I guess. So, folks, be sure you hit the like button, whether you like this or not. Hit the like button. It does help the show, the platform overall. And be sure you're subscribed, because we've got coverage throughout the week, throughout the month, and heading into another football season with Iowa postgame featuring Coach Don Patterson. Thank you for being here, and we will talk to you tomorrow.